4, 5, 6.
Of Genesis?
And why was there a day of rest?
Okay, so day 1, it's the appearance of light on the surface of the earth. And now that light comes through the clouds, photosynthesis can begin. So we believe that the origin of life is the beginning of day 1. Day 2, let there be water above and water below. It's referring to water in the atmosphere and water in the oceans below. So I see this as a statement about God setting up a water cycle. Now, it's one sentence, but if you go to Job 37 and the first half of Job 38, you've got a very extensive text on the kind of water cycle God set up. And I believe that Job is the oldest book in the Bible, so Moses didn't have to give any more details about day 2 because of how extensively the book of Job deals with it. But people would know, oh yeah, that's the water cycle that Job is speaking about. And the thing I really appreciate about Job 37 and 38, it talks about how God set up the water cycle with many different kinds of frozen precipitation and liquid precipitation, and how we need all those forms to have global civilization. That's day 2. Day 3, continents. That's when God transforms the earth from a water world to a world with oceans and continents. And that's why I believe the text is implying the origin of life is the beginning of day 1, because we need a huge population of specialized bacteria in order to sustain the plate tectonic activity long enough to get the continents we have today. Life is actually a critical component in building up the continents. And once the continents are in place, let the land proliferate with plants. And it's a theme you see in Psalm 104, that God is packing the planet with as much life as possible, as earthy as possible, and as diverse as possible. And so he's eager to get plants on the continental land masses as quickly as possible in order to build up the resources we need. Day 4, that's when the atmosphere goes transparent. And this is when the scene is now ready for animals. Day 5, let the seas swarm with animals. That's a reference to the Cambrian explosion of animal life. And then we have the end of day 5, God creating for the second time. The word bara, to create, Genesis 1:1, it shows up for the second time on day 5. And this is where God creates something brand new that never existed before. Not just physical life, but life that's physical and soulish, referring to the birds and the sea mammals. Now, the text skips God making the land mammals. That's important because a lot of skeptics say the Bible got it wrong because it mentions different kinds of land mammals on day 6 and sea mammals on day 5. The fossil record says the other way around. But notice Genesis never speaks about God creating land mammals generically. It jumps ahead to 3 highly specialized categories of land mammals. The short-legged ones, referring to the rodents, and then the 2 different kinds of long-legged ones, some that are easy to tame and others that are difficult to tame. And again, the book of Job, chapter 38 and 39, goes into great detail about these advanced land mammals that God created, basically making the point, these are the ones that are crucial to launch civilization. And what I find fascinating, those places where humans went and killed off those animals, they never got out of the Stone Age. That happened in Australia. It happened in North and South America. Only those continents where those creatures were not killed off by invading humans was civilization launched. And then creation day 6 ends with God creating human beings. And again, it uses the word create. In fact, what's interesting, God says, I made them and I created them. It uses the word asa because it's something about us that was manufactured from material that previously existed, the dust of the earth. But there's something in us that's totally brand new that never existed before, the spirit. And it's a spirit within us that allows us to relate to a higher being, namely God himself.
Is that his image?
The image of God. I mean, we're the only species that's body, soul, and spirit. So at least in that context, that's what the image of God is referring to.
So interesting.
I have a question. So